Hello everyone, this will be the review of game Broken Minds, and the key was provided by developer. Now, I had a lot of problem when thinking about this game because this is generally speaking a visual novel, and I personally didn't like the graphics. I didn't like the visuals, especially when it comes to characters, and I played very short time, so this is more like first impression than anything else. You don't have to necessarily treat it as full review, more like first impressions, and I'm basically done with the game, even though I do like some visual novels, especially those with anime characters that look really pretty, like all the Sakura games. Usually the price tag is very high on those games. So I am generally speaking willing to pay no more than $1 for a book, because this is more a book than a game. So a digitalized book with some pictures is worth $1 to me, not more. Usually many prices of those games are very high. This one is not that very expensive, but it's definitely more than $1. So I'm gonna try to approach the game from the beginning, just play a little bit. It's hard to show you anything without spoiling the story, so there will be spoilers. We'll play it for I think around 10 or 15 minutes. I will try to find something else than just the walls of text, and I want to show you the graphics. It has very strange options, looking like this. So I generally almost killed music. There is the entire music room, by the way. You at least can have some, well, music to play if you're interested in it. I'm personally completely not interested, but definitely the game has some sort of uh, music soundtrack. Aside from other things that are strange here, well, this looks strange, but main, it doesn't work. I don't know what's the button for. It doesn't work. So please fix it. Load, that would be my game. Let's see if it's showing. Strange, I didn't save. Yeah, I have autosaves. I don't have quick saves. I probably didn't save the game as such, but I have some autosaves. Alright. How I go back? Main menu doesn't work, so okay, again, in this one. Why return? Yeah, I guess return is the button. I'm not sure if this is properly translated, but whatever. Okay, so basically that's the options and that's the saves. We're gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna try to give the game another chance. Now, I was a little bit influenced by what I've seen on store page. It's showing very strange screenshots that look like some sort of talking system in the game, dialogue system, kind of like not what I'm saying. What's the name? Mass Effect, yeah, kind of like Mass Effect, but I don't think if it has any close result on the game. It might, but I didn't really make it there. I think I've seen it once or twice when I played, and I have no idea how it works. Also, some screenshots look like there are some mini games, but again, I didn't find any. What I found was just text and bad graphics, so that's why I didn't like the game. But I'm gonna try again. Let's start. Basically, I'm going to skip through the text and we'll try to find anything that's not text, right? So we are this one character. Here you can save, of course. Back. What is back? Can we go back? Yeah, we can go back to previous text. You can also skip. Auto options are the same. Now main menu works. Before it was broken. What does it do? Yeah, here it works. Before it doesn't. So this is messed up. Okay, I'm gonna just click through it. Those effects with blood are okay, I would say, but generally speaking, this is how you play, and I am putting it in quotes. This is how you play visual novels. You don't play, you click through text, you flip pages. This is a book, this is not a game. So, generally speaking, see, that's the character. In my opinion, she is extremely ugly for a visual novel character. Sakura games and any other games that has decent graphics can be theoretically bought just for the artistic value. In this case, I would say no. No, those characters are just disgusting. I'm not good with Japanese names or whatever language that is, so I don't know if this is a girl. I guess it's supposed to be a girl, but she doesn't really look like a girl. So I'm just gonna click through it. Okay, now we have this. What does it say? Okay, this is like a guide. This is what? Oh, this is my room, which is quite okay. This is all in Japanese, by the way. What can we click? I have no idea. Is it changing? Yeah, it's changing on its own. so I can't really click anything. I think it's showing me where I am. So yeah, still I don't know where is north. So this is to the right. I'm not sure what does it do. Like I go into the kitchen. Okay, this is in the bed. Where am I going now? Okay, I'm going like some direction. And as you can see, those are also not very pretty in terms of graphics. She looks like an alien, and the guy is just ugly. So it's like hand-drawn graphics in a visual novel, which in my case is completely not working. And of course there's tons of text. I'm just gonna click through it until we find something that's not talking. This way you won't be spoiled too much by what's going on. So generally speaking, that's the progress of the game. You just keep going. Okay, and we've seen something in the window. And then everything is in fire. Right, I'm not sure. Should I go there? Should I go this way? Oh, I'm looking. Where am I looking? I don't know. Should I go this way? How am I moving? Yeah, now it's, yeah, this is the thing that was, I think, added in a patch. Like, you should go this way because some people couldn't progress. So I guess you have to go to the, well, to the mark, exclamation mark, to progress. Fire or rabbit? What does it say? I don't know. We just escape. So the game is supposed to be some sort of psychedelic crime story when it comes to, well, just the story. They look slightly better, but still badly. I don't know why main characters look so badly. This is very strange for a visual novel. Right, and I'm trying to make it to this element of a game where you don't have talking, which, well, most of it is talking. I don't know what this is. Is this a chapter? I don't know. I think, yeah, that's a sort of a, yeah, that's sort of what I'm trying to say. Should I click it? It's an intro, right? It's an intro. Which plays now. She looks better, by the way. Well, the backgrounds are okay, but they are just pictures, right? So basically in visual novels, usually the background is a picture you either make or you take from somewhere. Those pictures, I would say, well, I would say the backgrounds are 5 out of 10. They are average. They are not disgusting. They are not very pretty. It's supposed to be about a private detective agency, but it's completely linear, I guess. I mean, there might be branching endings to the game, but generally speaking, you go through it, like in most cases when it comes to the visual novels. Right. So we are somewhere, we're in this agency of sorts, and we can, what? We can click this. Does nothing really. We have to again find a way to progress. This is definitely helping to realize when we are, at least roughly. What is this? I don't know, you can just click it for some reason. I'm moving, yeah, now it's with the map, it's definitely helping. I think I went to, yeah, I should do this. Well, somewhere, I don't know if we can click there. No, we cannot click there. Maybe we gain some information or something. That's one of the characters. We don't even see them, by the way, only here. Which are quite ugly, and that's the character. Should I talk to her? Yes. Can we pick this sort of... Yes, that's the system, right? Puppet. Bleak. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to click. I should click something, right? I don't know what. I always click psychopath for some reason, but I don't know how it works. It's not explained, right? I've read something that it should be the response matched to the character. I mean to the other character, not to me. So what if I'm nice? I'm not sure. See, it goes through some text and then you're nice or not. And that's it. That's the system, right? I don't know what it's influencing. You don't really get any stats or anything. You just go towards some part of the story. Probably, maybe you get different dialogue. But pretty much the entire game is dialogue. It's just this. You move around rooms. In most cases, so far it was rooms. And you talk, right? So now we go back somehow. I don't know where I'm facing, so it's hard to progress. And we should talk again, I guess. Should we talk to the girl? Yeah, maybe. I guess this is a girl. Ume. I don't know what's Ume. Ume is Plum, I think. It's a fruit, I guess. Yeah, so you get pictures like this, kind of psychedelic. Now we react, which does nothing. I mean, it's supposed to do something, but I don't know what it's doing. It's not like you can choose particular outcome. Right. So now we are in another room, which is kind of messed up, and there is another strange character we can talk to. Let's see if we again go through the reaction. Yes, let's go bleak. See, I don't know what it did. It did something. Now we should talk to this guy, apparently. It's kind of showing us how to progress. If we click on stuff, it does nothing. It's just like in adventure game. You get a little bit of information for the sake of it, but it doesn't really push you anywhere. I'm trying to go back the wrong way. I can't go there. Yeah, we should go to this guy. Go through another text. At this point I was kind of bored. I don't know if it goes into any better story or better places. I should find something. It's kind of trying to emulate this psychedelic experience, I guess, with the visuals, but I'm not entirely sure if that was the reason behind it. Right, you can say something and then it's showing what happened, what might have happened, but I guess this is also a linear part of the game. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about something. And what next? Probably the same. Just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And once you click through all of this, I'm not sure if you can fail the game. Hard to say. Okay, I'm not gonna be nice. I'm gonna be a psychopath. Which does something. It doesn't show me what it's doing. It's not like we have any stats or anything. It's hard to say what I accomplished by being a psychopath. Evidence. Well, this is better. What is this? Father, mother. Solve. What is solve? I don't know what it does. So what, that's the guy? I don't know what's doing. Solve. I click 3 things. And then, okay, we get some sort of information what might have happened. Right. Strange sounds. Probably there will be music playing, but I'm not interested in playing music when I'm reading, because I can't read at this point. Right. Tons of text and some guy. It's pretty much still just talking between our character and some detectives or friends or whatever they are. And then we move to another scene. Alright, and I think I made it to this place last time I played. Some other girl that looks slightly less bad. I guess that's a game. A girl. Let's talk to her maybe. That's the last thing I'm gonna do. Where is she? Same room, but I can't find her. There she is. Yeah. Slightly better, but still badly drawn. I don't know why this sort of graphic style was used. Yeah, the backgrounds are just average, but characters are ugly. I'm gonna be nice. Maybe some girl-on-girl action, but probably not. I don't think that's even possible to romance anybody. Alright, so okay, that's a dead body or something. I guess he's dead. Hard to say. I'm not checking. Yeah, they say he's dead. Okay, guys, so that's the game. That's how it looks. That's how it plays. This is basically a visual novel. I'm gonna try to go back this time to working main menu, which doesn't work. Now it works. Yes. If I go to options, it doesn't. Yeah. So this is broken. Okay, guys, it's hard to say anything about a story because this is very subjective. You might like a story or not. What I like in visual novels is fantasy, sci-fi, horror, and sexual element. Definitely should be backed by really pretty graphics, which in some cases is the case. In some cases it isn't. Some visual novels are really ugly and some are really pretty. And personally, I would want to read through some of them. I would definitely want to experience some of the visual novels because I generally like books. But in my opinion, this shouldn't be on Steam. I mean, it could be. It's not that I mind it really, but I don't treat it as games. If I get it very, very cheap or in a bundle or something, if I win it, I'm probably gonna read through it while doing something else. But I'm not really gonna invest in books on Steam. I would rather play a game. In most cases, when I have a choice between a visual novel and a game, I would play a game actively with some interaction, right? Visual novels are just they're just reading material, which might be okay if you are into this, if you sit to the game with the mindset that you want to read a story. So there you can do it, of course, but they are visual novels, so the visual part should be strong. It isn't. In this case, it isn't. So you can treat this game as a story with maybe some non-linear writing, well, rather branching than non-linear, because the game generally is linear. You just have some branching results, maybe endings. The big bulk of those games usually is the same. It's not like they're not open world or anything close to it. They're just some story that goes one or the other direction. Sometimes they can end abruptly. Sometimes they just go on to the end, but you have different endings. Usually the most part is the same. You even have options to skip the stuff that you already read, so you can just try to beat the game in every possible way, seeing all the endings, which is rather hard without the guide. So this is basically reading material, and this is not in the genre that I like. I mean, this is some strange psychedelic crime story, which isn't what I normally read. I don't even read crime stories overall. If that had any elements of, as I said before, horror, which it has to some extent, fantasy or sci-fi, which it doesn't really, at least so far, or sexual element for obvious reasons. I like anime and hentai, so I would buy maybe a game super cheaply if it had any of those elements. This isn't really a type of story that I read that I like. But you might, if you are into crime, mysteries, some psychedelic stories, strange, events, but not really strange, not really horror or sci-fi or fantasy strange, just strange for the sake of it. Then you might find it interesting, but this is very hard to say what story you like. So if you want this kind of story, you might read it. But as I said, this is not a game, this is reading material. I didn't personally like it, and I really didn't like the graphics. So in my case, that is a failure for a visual novel, especially at that price. It's not very expensive, but it's like, I don't know, it's like $4 or $5, I think. So I'm done with this. I don't want to play it anymore. I'm tired, I'm bored. The text was okay, because the first time I played, I read through it, right? So it was just average, really average, nothing special, nothing very enticing or interesting. There should be an explanation how this whole dialogue system works, because it just appears before your eyes and you have no bloody idea how it works and what to choose. It's completely random. So this should have some strong influence on the game, some bars that you are feeling or something. It's a mini game, so that you know what result it has. What are you doing, being nice or psychopath or bleak or whatever. It might have an effect, but you have no idea what. So you could just do it, trying all possible options. That's one way to do it. Or you could just use a guide, because otherwise it's just complete trial and error and completely random. Makes no sense to me. I have no idea if the game has anything more to offer than just talking, than just skipping through pages of a book. If so, then I'm very sorry, but I didn't make it this far because I got bored, which is sort of my reaction to the game. I was bored and I wasn't interested, and I couldn't finish it because, I'm not finishing all the games that I'm reviewing. You don't necessarily have to treat it as a review. It's more like second impression, because I'm trying this game second time, and all I see is the badly drawn visual novel, which might be interesting to some people. How many points? I would give it 3 out of 10 because of the graphic elements, and in my case it wasn't very interesting, but that shouldn't really influence my judgment. I'm basically subtracting points because it doesn't look good. The story is completely I don't want to arbitrarily tell you what stories are good. For instance, I liked Twilight, and Stephen King said that she can write, and I personally liked Twilight, and I also liked Stephen King's books. So it's really hard to say what story is well written and what story you will enjoy. If you enjoy this kind of stories, you can enjoy it, why not? But I personally didn't, and I didn't like the graphics. So for me, there is nothing in this game. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna go through the entire story because I was just put off by it. And for the contrast, I did play through a couple of visual novels, and I even have some of them installed. I usually read them when I farm something and when I'm doing something in the background. And I sometimes start a visual novel and read through it because those are books, and digital versions of books with pictures should be cheap because books are generally cheap. Well, they're not cheap in physical form, but in digitalized form they are in fact free. But if you want to go legal and you want to buy PDF versions of books, then they are also cheap. You don't necessarily need a reader. I personally read on computer. I just need a text file. So they are super small, it's super easy to get. You can basically get any book you want just by getting a text file with the text, because that's all you need. And if you want to go fancy, you can have one of those portable readers and PDF files, or use some sort of online library for books, in which case those books are also cheap. So the concept of having expensive visual novels that are nothing more than books on Steam for big money is to me insane. Just like this game is about minds, right? So that's really a broken mind that produces it. I'm very much for giving entertainment to everybody as much as possible. I think that knowledge and art and entertainment should be as cheap or even free as possible, because I don't want to see anybody just not being able to experience stuff, not being able to learn, not being able to have fun, not being able to go into contact with art just because they are poor. So this is more a personal issue for me. I think everybody should be able to read a book, not like, the book is $20, you can't read it unless you buy it. I think everybody should be able to read books in this day and age, where you can pretty much copy everything instantly for no cost. Those things should have very small price. If million people reads your book, then even if they pay 1 cent, you're still making $10,000, right? So I think that's enough for writing the book. Those prices should be very low, very, very low. We have 7 billion people on this planet, and they can get pretty much, if they get access to internet, they can get any book anytime. So this should be really cheap. I'm not buying visual novels unless they have trading cards, unless they are very, 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 very cheap, around $1 or less. And even though I would like to read them, they have very, very steep prices in my case. I'm just gonna always pick a game and not a book to read. Yeah, clearly I would like to read them. I would like to read all the Sakura games, for instance, but they just have too high prices, and those games look really beautiful. In this case, the graphic part is very low, so this is not a strong part. Story is also not a strong part, and there is nothing else I know of. So if I'm missing something that's also in this game, then I'm very sorry for it, but I just couldn't brace myself and go to that point, and I'm not sure if this exists. I'm just getting the game and trying to play it. I'm not really using external sources of information. I'm just testing the game and saying what I think, and that's what I think. Okay, guys, if you want to go into any discussion with me, or you want me to clarify something, just write a comment. So that will be it for Broken Minds. That's 3 out of 10, clearly a visual novel, clearly just a book to read. And that will be it for the review, and I will see you guys in the next one.